right environment simulation with Revit. So before Revit, our proposal was very simple, not much information. So difficult to imagine real world. So we have been proposed like this more than 20 years. So 30 persons, writing designers, are engaged to propose, and engaged to propose, and the proposal is more than 100,000 proposals per year. So you know that I mentioned with a high block wall to change this work style. The trigger was just a demand from our customer, which was a famous design office, and using Revit efficiently. At the beginning, a very simple figure. So as a trial to change to use Revit, I made several right families and provide them to persons in design office. So I thought I could meet their expectation and was over my job. But they asked me to show this right environment simulation. So I put the 167 rights using 2D layout underlaid in Revit as a reference. So this is the first output, but our writing designers complained that this image was too dark. So I changed the value of exposure to 7, but they did not agree. They said the ceiling and white walls were good, but wooden wall and floor should be more dark. I agree with them because they had a lot of experience to design real space. But what should I do? So I switched to use 3ds Max. So this is an image using 3ds Max. I use the Revit data, which was loaded on Max and rendered using mental ray method. So writing designers stopped to complain and approved. I showed several images to persons of design office. They also approved. So I thought I completed my job. But in the next moment, they asked me the presentation more easy to understand. So I'm amazed. So I'm puzzled. So, but they said additionally, so they proposed as the fascinating temptation. That is to introduce Panasonic to the project owner. So this is just a carrot and stick, I think. So this is a panorama presentation. So this is a demonstration. Using the iPad. And this is rendered by 3ds Max here. But just not only just one figure, but using looking everywhere. Sorry. The persons in the design office were satisfied. And we visited together to the owner and had a presentation which was approved. So we come to a conclusion that almost customers require right families, and moreover, a presentation which is easy to share the right environment with whole project members. So restriction of this of panorama view is not to walk, just see around. So I made some views at several points. For example, here, from a side. I also make a walkthrough demo. I'll change the sort piece system. Different figure, so it's controllable, it's working. Sorry. So another system, but so I made both, but design office persons so prefers maybe panorama. They like this one. はい、どうします。So we come to the goal so to agree with our presentation. So next trial was development of Revit admin. That's so writing designers, 300 persons, could use and simulate right environment, but they have never used Revit and experienced the 3D layout of rights. So, of course, they don't know the 3ds Max. Okay. So this is the first picture. So just after starting Revit, so we added the Panasonic Beam extension menu here. So just 3 icons. So the writing designer can use Revit and 3ds Max and create the simulation image with pushing just 3 icons. So selecting first icon, they can analyze the Revit data. You know, this data was made by some other persons. So our designers must struggle with this unfamiliar data. Sometimes it takes a few days to understand. So using this tool, so you can see floors. You can see floors here. Sorry, in Japanese. And so then select the floor here. So you see the rooms list here. Rooms list here. And when you select a room, you see your equipment belong to this room here. So our lighting designers can understand easily with just analyzing this data. So here. And the selected room is highlighted. So if select this room, so the room place is highlighted here. Change the room, another place is highlighted. So they can understand the correspondence of the room name with the position. So after selecting room, push a create button. So at the lower left, so here. So you will get the ceiling plan picture. So no, you know, so with ceiling plan picture, so you can put right equipment immediately. So then select the second icon. You will get the list or a list of right families. So when selecting one here, so use the figure of it as the upper right square here. So figure. So to arrange rights, our designers should drag to the proper position, such as a standard operation on Revit. So we supply several functions here, such as copy, move, rotate, and array copy here to message. After an arrangement, you will select the third icon, which is to run simulation. This is a picture to control the simulation. This process arises the 3ds Max application automatically using 3ds Max scripts. So first, select this button. So this button, luminance distribution chart we can get. Second button, so quick check. Third button, mental array with HDTV resolution. The fourth button is a panorama. So we use mental array method on 3ds Max. This method takes a long time, you know. So for example, about this data, it took more than 10 hours. Resolution, of course, resolution is HDTV. So it's necessary to check quickly. So we use array method as quick check. It takes 1 minute. Here is the array result. It's enough to just check. So I will conclude this chapter. We have developed Revit add-in and automatic simulation using 3ds Max. We have just developed to handle customers' Revit data and our writing designers to be able to do this work. Then go to the third chapter. So realization of Revit aided control system. Okay. First, please look at this video. So we put 9 lights at the experimental room. So those lights are controllable about intensity and color temperature. So we have products such as controllable lights. So to control them, so operators must set the work site with taking a lot of time. So in some cases, there are some errors. Okay. Okay. So we have tried to control lights with Revit. We added the Vmax here, Vmax here. Vmax menu, so here, it means beam-aided control system. I will explain operation of Revit as the office example. In this picture, so we make some groups of lights to control at the same time. So in this example, so we have 3 groups. And we make a 3 group, and after select group, so set dimming level and color temperature for each group. So this is a make rendered image, so using light environment simulation. So select scene as control buttons. So this system can control real scene after setting writing control. So it's easy to understand to select the present preset scene. So push the simulation menu, then control the real scene. So I will conclude this chapter. So we have developed Revit add-in, and it can control lights. So we have found out the possibility that Revit can control the real scene dynamically. So we think it's possible to apply for not only light, but also air, energy, and security in near future. Okay. Finally, go to the fourth chapter, iHouse Plan, Web Kitchen Products Planning. So these days, we have developed the right environment simulation, but it occurs since Web Kitchen Product Planning System, named iHouse Plan. So we created this system about 3 years ago. This image is an example. It's rendered by 3ds Max, not by Revit. But so this is let me explain about the planning process a short time. This is a web page, and this is the start page of web. So sorry, it's written in Japanese, but just push button start here. So the customer can create their own kitchen planning. So first, select layout of the kitchen. Here, L-shaped kitchen is selected. Then select the part of kitchen. So here is IH into induction heating cooker selected. Then select the details of parts of kitchen. Here is the door material is selected or changed. So finally, customers can get the image and estimate. So if they will order, they can get this kitchen in 1 week later. The price is maybe about more than $10,000. So they will visit our showroom to see real kitchen or maybe give up. Okay. So in this system, the important thing, the geometry of each part is created just after customer selection. We don't have objects in the database, but we have the rules necessary to create parts. For example, the cabinet is created using length, width, height, material, doorknob position, right hand, left hand open, and so on. So we can fit the kitchen by 1 centimeter accuracy. So the combination number of kitchen parts become infinity. So we think that we're equipment manufacturers, so we should supply the data, but also supply the real product. So we should be the best proposer. So based on the rules and know-how as a maker. What I want to tell is we want to realize this kind of system in the right environment simulation. So this system, so we got the commendation by Ministry of Japan this year. So conclusion, so developed, the first developed Revit add-in and automatic simulation using 3S Max for lighting designers. Confirmed, so the possibility of that Revit can control a real scene dynamically. And third, so we will realize the right environmental simulation for the best space proposal. So, but just ourselves, it's very difficult to realize this system. So I want to say, so would you try to pursue the benefit provided by Revit with us together? So this is the end. So sorry to speak faster, so I don't know, but maybe, so first, so please give me a question.
Yeah, my name is Mino Bara. I'm an engineer for that Autodesk, then working for that Dr. Shibano and the Panasonic team. Then any questions regarding for that? Yeah, okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Your Revit add-in you created for doing this kind of work, about how long did it take for you to write that plot?
The question is that is this add-in is for that their operations? That is the first question. Yes. Mm-hmm. Then also that the second question is that how long does it take to write or making these customization add-ins?
Hi. So of course, so we apply this software to the real work, real business, but so not yet, just testify now. So for maybe half year, so we will make conclusion to this system is possible to use or not. So to develop this kind of system, it took maybe 6 months. So, but mainly so to understand that Revit SDK. So now, so if after understanding Revit SDK, so maybe it will take 2 months or not. That's right.
My katakana is a little rusty, so it's going to be in English. The instructions.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's going to be in English, right? Not katakana.
Katakana?
The instructions and tabs are going to be translated to English.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Understand, sorry. Of course, this is just start. So it's not so difficult to exchange to English, I think. But so to develop this kind of system, first we should get the needs. So we want to cooperate together.
One of his goals for this presentation is that looking for that needs and your needs and then backup to get to realize that this kind of add-ons for that real business, your business. I mean, that designing or real commercial applications. That's why he's working to create this kind of that add-ons with Revit, and also that for create that real image, real rendered image in that this kind of that PC environment.
Are you going to add some other functionality into it? Because I know there is some other programs out there to do lighting calculations for light levels on the floor and stuff like that. Some of the programs don't do a very good job, like I think it's AGI or Elim tools for Revit, because they add in a whole bunch of zeros, which basically kills your lighting calculations.
ちょっとだけ、a little understand, but so please translate.
これが一つのライティングのカリキュレーションという解析の結果とか、マックスでしか出せないものとか、結局は解析が解析用の機能を追加しますからということです。
So we are not just professional about simulation program. So about air condition, airflow simulation. We should use more we should use specialized software simulation. So we just want to combine, but the lighting simulation. So we are the maker of lighting equipment. So we develop this kind of software.
Any more questions? I think that we have more times to discuss with Dr. Shibano directly, so that if you are interested in the... Thank you. If you are interested in talking with him, so please just approach to him directly. I can make a translation, so.
Please.